Blessings, beautiful souls. I have your oracle reading here for you today. We are using the Rose Oracle today. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Just looks spectacular, as do all of Rebecca Campbell's decks. I do love them. Their messages are really soft and gentle, you know. It's one I go to when I might be having a particularly harder day and I'm just not ready for that full transparency to kind of grab me and pull me under like I have explored with some of the other decks that I've shared with you. So this is a beautiful rose deck. We have 3 cards here. Now let me tell you, this week is massive. So today you'll be feeling into maybe more of that underworld sort of frequency. Things are probably coming up for you this week that are really quite confronting, and it's sometimes that whole programming starting to show its face, and really it's about triggering yourself to release is what this week is about, as we shift into the Aries new moon, which is such a remarkable new moon. Let me tell you that that moon is transformational, but as we know, in order to transform, we need to actually step into the portal, and to get into the portal sometimes we need to fight the demons, fight the warrior, fight the whatever is coming up for us, you know. Really get into that, okay, I'm putting a mirror up here and I'm going to really accept that the universe is showing me something that maybe I'm not ready to hear, maybe I'm not really wanting to face, and it's about surrender and allowing that to fall away so you can step into the new. It also asks us to take a lot of action as well, and this is what this new moon is about. What is the action you are taking? It's a shift, it's a cleanse. It's a huge portal this week, and we are jumping into midweek here when we do our oracle readings, and so it's a beautiful time to sit with what is coming up for me that I need to heal, release, and move on from, and actually stop being the victim around it. Stop placing blame or stories around it, and start going, you know what, I chose that behavior, or I choose that thing to be in my life, I choose that person to be in my world, and either I accept that or I release them, or that, so that I can step forward. Because there's no good us saying, oh my goodness, it's never happening, my manifestations aren't happening, if there's not any action, or if we're holding on to a story that's protecting us. You know, sometimes it is about, I'm a bit scared to release that story of that victim, or that story of that hurt or anger or loss, that grief, because what will actually show up for me might be amazing, and that scares me too. Sometimes what we have in store for us is so amazing that we have some anxiety around it, because it's huge change. We might really want huge change, but sometimes we're not really prepared for it, right? And so we get scared. This is the week to prepare. This is the week to get real with ourselves. And I love, 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 love working through this energy. This is the week for a new beginnings ritual. It's the week for your new moon rituals. It is the week for you, if you don't do any of that sort of stuff, then you're not a ritual soul. That's okay. It's time to do some solid shadow work on Wednesday, Thursday. And Thursday, end of Thursday, you're looking at that new energy stepping into those beautiful high vibrational timelines of yours. So welcoming in that energy. So you need to go deep and see what it is your soul's ready to release. Do some journaling. Go and ground yourself and meditate and see what comes through. This is a huge portal. Huge. Cleanse your aura. Recalibrate your energy. Remove anything that needs to be removed, cords, binds, ties, whatever it is, so that you can step in fresh. You want fresh new energy in your system to welcome in this new moon. It's big. Okay, so hopefully I've given you some beautiful ideas there of what you can really dive into during this new moon phase of Aries. Aries is strong. Aries doesn't muck around, right? It's a really quite, you know, you've had your beautiful Libra moon. That was nice and soft and gentle and balanced everything out. Now Aries is here to kick your butt and say, right, we are moving forward, if you like it or not. And you know, some people won't like it, and some people will fall back to the stories and the victim mentality, and they won't step into their highest timeline. And that's their choice. But you get to choose too. We have, just like you get to choose your card today, we have 3 beautiful cards here, the Rose Oracle cards 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to jump into the reading now. So, for those of you that have chosen card 1, here is your card. And your card is the Mother Rose. Can you see the background there? It's a bit beautiful, isn't it? Just the little shadows. Returning to each other, compassion, humanity. Now this card is a bit bigger than self. This card, being the Mother Rose, is all about that deeper connection to Earth, to humanity in general, to opening our hearts and guiding the way for others and making sure we're walking the right path. Now, returning to each other sometimes can be about, okay, who has wronged you? Who do you need to forgive so that you can move into that compassion? Because there's no good holding on to a hurt, holding on to something that someone's wronged you in your energy if it's harming you. And I would suggest that if you're holding on to a low vibrational energy, it is harming you. Energy turns into physical. We know that. So if you're holding and harboring guilt or hurt or anger or fear or loss or grief, you're feeling that in your body every single day, you're only harming you. Envy's a big one too, jealousy. Don't compare yourself to others. And because the humanity one comes up too, I just want to say some of us, particularly in this group, we, and myself included, remember, I'm not here to judge, I'm here to guide. We get really triggered and really upset and deeply hold the grief of the world. And when we see injustice in the world and when we see things happen to others, particularly children and animals, you know, we really find that hard to shut off. Particularly when it kind of can be reflected in your own world. And so I often find if I hear a story or a news story or the news or something like that, I will cut off mid-sentence there, sorry. We really take that on. So when big things happen that hurt our heart, that happen in the world, it loops inside of us and we hold that, right? We really hold that big energy. And it hurts as if it's our own. And that's where we need to step back and say, can I actually do something to change that situation? I can send it light, I can send it love. Maybe there is something you can do. Maybe you can write a letter, maybe you can go a march, maybe you can do something, right? Then do that. But if there's not something you can do, maybe you've seen something on TV that's really upset you and it's, you know, something, you're holding that grief for that family that's experienced that. You need to process that and let that out of your field, because what you're picking up in is other people's energy. And we often then go back into that humanity. Where is the humanity? Where is the love for Earth? And Mother Earth often, when this card comes up with the Mother Rose, this is that connection to her. That is that, where's our humanity? Where is that? And we need to anchor into that. We need to forgive, we need to release. Particularly this week, you need to let that go. And if you need to not watch certain things, then do that, because that's what I do. My husband now knows. He used to love to tell me all his news stories because he shared with you before, we are so polar opposites. He is very mainstream. And he used to come and tell me all his bad news stories that he watched on the news. And I'm like, no more. I don't want that in my field. If it's not actually something that I can change and support, it's not something we can actually action and do something about that needs healing or love or whatever, then I can't have that in my field. And maybe that's a message for you today. But we need to release, it's that saying, I can't even think what the saying is, where we drink the poison doesn't kill the other person. Someone will comment below, let us know that story. It's about by you drinking the poison doesn't kill the other person, it kills you, right? And so that's what that not forgiving is. That's what that harboring that hurt or harboring the anger towards someone else, I think it's around anger more than anything, is that you can be there and blaming and angry. And I have a beautiful friend that, we're going 20 years on from them being absolutely treated so poorly and hurt by their partner. And they've been away from that person for 20 years and they still hold so much anger. And most of our conversations, that person will enter it somehow. And what's that doing to her? I could tell you what that's doing to her. So please use this as your sign to say, you know what, actually, I'm releasing that because it doesn't serve me. Your best revenge is treating yourself the way you should have been treated in that situation. Your best revenge is going back out there and having the best life you can. That's your best revenge. If you need to have revenge, that's your best revenge. But in actual fact, it's gratitude to them because they've released you from a situation, or they've released you, or they've given you a lesson, and you will absolutely protect yourself to the hill from here, and it will not happen again. And you had the experience you needed to have in that instant, and it's horrible. And I know I have a lot of you beautiful souls on here who've experienced more grief and loss than I ever wish to ever experience in my entire lifetimes. I'm not saying, oh, get over it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying give the situation compassion, give yourself compassion, and don't let it take over you. Return to each other, return to source, return to spirit, return to your soul sisters and brothers and connect. And show humanity how it should be rising. Card number 2. That's a big one, sorry. Lineage of the Rose. Moved by Goddess, here for this soul call gather. This is Goddess calling out to you. This is a calling home card. So this card is a very deep Goddess card. I actually got this card not long ago when I said to all of you I was really called out by the Goddess, and this card had come up and I was like, this is an interesting card. This is about you hearing the soul call, and maybe you're being called to step up and connect with others and share your light. You might be called to gather in circle. Inner circle's always open. This may be your call to say, hey, Goddess wants to move through you. Goddess wants to work through you. And you can replace Goddess with whatever you like. Universal energy, God, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, whoever. Right? You replace that word with what feels right for you. It's always going to be Goddess for me. But that's my practice. I often use universal energy as well, and source energy, and divine source energy. But this is about you being called because it's your time. It's your time. And hey, what a beautiful time to be called in the Aries new moon, to step up and to step into. This is about not doing it alone anymore, but being in the circles, being in the programs, being with others, allowing Goddess to talk through you. Allow her to guide you, because you've chosen to be here. This was a decision you made. You decided to come. You decided to be here in this moment. You decided to listen to this reading. Your soul guided you to this. Your spirits tapped you on the shoulder. I don't know, like, I put this out every week and not many of you get to see it because of the algorithm and the way it is. All see my tarot because you go through the newsletter. But the oracle kind of goes drifting off into the astral, and it's interesting. Some people will find it on YouTube that aren't part of this collective, part of our group. And if you are finding us on YouTube, come and join us in our free Facebook group. That way you can always log into that group and see what you've missed if the algorithm's not showing it to you. If you want to go deeper, we're in the inner circle as well. This is the time together. This is the time to be with each other and lift each other's frequencies. And so if you got this card, this is your soul line. This is what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be here. You didn't stumble here by accident in this group. You didn't meet me by accident and chance. This was orchestrated for you. This was completely orchestrated for you. And so it is time now to hear Goddess and hear the call and do the devotion work. It's interesting, this keeps coming up. In our inner circle, my priestess circle that I just ran on Sunday, so today's Wednesday, so was all about Australian time. Sorry, if you're seeing this in Tuesday and you're like, how is it Wednesday already for her? Yeah, Australian time. We're that day ahead. I can tell you the future. I can tell you the energies, I tell you that much. So yeah, it was all around the amount of souls. I've got brothers and sisters, beautiful soul family in that group. And most of us were being called back into devotion and connection again. And it's interesting because that seems to be a shift for many collectives. I'm a member of many groups at the moment, and we're being called together. We're being called to go back to devotion and connection with Goddess. It's very fascinating. It's a collective energy right now. Card number 3. Healing the mother line. Oh, this is a big one, right? And there is so many of us that have been placed in this lifetime, in this particular positioning in our family to do the healing, the ancestral work, the mother line, the growing up. And if you're the black sheep in the family, if you have got a mother who couldn't love you the way you wanted to be loved, and if you are in a situation where your family is very different to you, or they hold a lot of trauma. You know, often our mothers that couldn't love us the way we wanted to be loved is because they didn't get loved the way they wanted to be loved. And it's this cycle, or there's this trauma handed down, or there's a disconnect. You know, the amount of people I know that are not in connection or talking to their own mothers. There's no judgment on that at all. That's sometimes the best thing for you. This is about healing that line. You are here to heal it so the generations after you don't have to do this work. You're doing it for them. And that's really big, right? But it's about actually taking that responsibility. That's what it's saying, growing up. It's not so much grow up, there's something wrong with you. It's take responsibility. You chose to come and break this cycle, so do it. And yes, you might be called to do the healing, the ancestral line work, the mother line work. It's big work, it takes time. But maybe that's something you need to work on releasing in this cycle that we're going through this week, so that you can get to the other side, the higher vibration, the higher timeline. This is about healing, deep healing. If you got this card today, have a look at your relationship with the other females in your family, because it might not even be your mother. You might have a fabulous relationship with your mother. What was the relationship like between the mother and the grandmother? Maybe there's some healing that needs to happen there. Have a look and see, going back, what is that cycle? There's lots of cycles that can be picked up when you start to talk to aunts and uncles, you start to talk to grandparents, and you start to see the familiar sort of emotions and trauma and happenings. And sometimes you don't even need to know the whole story. You can go actually back in there because you hold a piece of that DNA in your soul. So you can go back into your physical body. You can go through meditations. You can connect in with that lineage and really go deep and find what it is that needs healing and set that intent to heal. Ask your spirit team in. If you are a Reiki practitioner, do your healing. If you're an energy worker, do the healing. Please do that, because that's what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be here doing that, not just helping everyone else shift their energies. You need to do the work on your line too. We were gifted these gifts. We were guided to our teachers to learn these modalities so that we could heal our lineage, our ancestral roots, all of those things, as well as help and serve others. We get so caught up in helping and serving others sometimes as priestesses, as healers, as light workers, that we forget that actually the purpose of that modality originally was to heal us and our families, so that then we can be of service to others as well. This is a big week, my beautiful friends, and I apologize, we have gone so over time this week. Sending you all so much love. Again, I invite you to step into the inner circle. I also invite you, if you need support this week, clearing or anchoring or manifesting or new beginnings, light codes, or any of those things, head over to my shop. If I had to tell you 2 things this week, Thursday Beyond would be your new beginnings. Certainly Aurafield cleanse leading up to that if you have not done one recently. If you have not released your cords, binds and ties, then I would suggest your negative energy cleansing, getting prepared for Thursday's big event, the Aries new moon. And if you would like support in manifesting in your highest timeline, you set the intentions, I do the ritual work. Yeah? Then you purchase a new moon ritual. It's all available on my website. Go back to your emails. The links will be there from Monday's email to you as well. Sending you all so much love and abundance and holding you all in my heart during this transition phase. Much love.